So I go up to the guy from AmeriVape. I'm like, yo, a lot of shit going on in this industry, man. Would you mind if I vented to you about it?
That was the stupidest. Oh shit, we're on.
Deal with it.
Yeah, we're on.
Deal with it.
Hey, everybody.
We're not on. It's not live yet.
It's live, buddy.
No, it's not. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go. Oh, what time is it?
Welcome, Plumes Habs, everybody. I am the Expo Vapor.
We're not live yet. Math blast on that.
Close enough.
Get to this shit.
And the chip addict over there is El Fubaka.
You look like a broke-ass Phil Basardo.
Yep.
Well, he should be so lucky.
What an intro, ladies and gentlemen!
Hooray!
How you guys doing?
Motherfuckers. First order of business.
Already?
Apparently.
No, Rayon Wick, yo.
Yeah, the Railwick is actually something I was going to talk about, but not until Chuffy came back.
I mean, for once, I get to something before my co-hosts do.
Mm-hmm. You
That
sure
doesn't
do.
happen often.
Hashtag white people.
Courtesy of Lebrat Vapes. He is based out of France. Makes some very fine pastry juices. Hooked me up with some. He's real big time. He looks like meh.
It looks like, well, cotton, sort of.
It looks like cotton. It's very like thready. So basically, you have to roll it really tight. Well, actually, for those who don't know, cellular cotton or rayon, it's a synthetic cotton that breaks down at a higher temperature than regular cotton. All that shit aside, it's Walter approved, apparently.
Oh, is that right? I was actually going to ask about that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, Walter approved.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously, I mean, the jury's still out on it, but I thought I'd give it a try. The flavor is really, really good. I was putting my dripper on Saturday, and I've been using the same cotton since Saturday on, the Stolar clone at 0.35, and I got some Cantaloupe tobacco from DV Liquids on here, and the flavor's pretty banging. Like when I have it on regular cotton, it's a little harsh. It's still pretty fresh, the juice. But it's so much smoother on the rayon. It's a little finicky. It's you have to really roll it to get it through your coils, and it doesn't expand when it gets wet. It gets smaller. So
I heard you had to pack and pack and pack and pack it in there.
Yeah.
not as much. I ended up cutting off.
Not as much as cotton, or I've heard it's more than cotton.
I ended up using more rayon, but that's because I just started using it, so I haven't exactly gotten the hang of how to strip and all that.
Get in there.
You know,
Right.
Chuffy said he had to use twice the quantity of cotton to get
Yeah,
this.
but it's okay. So instead of spending $2.50, you're spending $5 at a time on your. But it's for a giant box of 500 feet. I think it's $12 or $13 from Sally's Beauty Supply.
No, I didn't mean that cost-wise. It's
Oh, I
definitely
know.
very cheap.
You made it sound like it was such a monumental increase.
No, not at all.
But it's very thready. So it's like waking, like when you're brushing your hair and you got this few that are still sticking up over here. That's pretty much what rayon is. So when you're wetting it, you got to make sure any really long strands that are hanging, that are poking out, I just pull those out, and any other small stragglers, you just push it in and get it wet with the rest of the wick. And I really like it. It's really clean. It still tastes really good 2 days later. And I re-cotton every other day on the dripper.
I'm sorry, I was not laughing at you. I was laughing at Addo Bandito has joined the chat as Addo Bandito doesn't have my mod yet, thanks. That's his new username. Sad story.
That is sad, man. I thought he would have it today.
It was apparently
Wow.
signature required, and nobody was
What mod did he get?
the
He's
NES
the
mod.
one, he won the Nintendo, man.
Oh, right.
Is what's sitting at the damn post office. He couldn't get.
Ouch.
Well, anyway, I mean, there's no like, I don't think there's a difference in vapor production, but the flavor is really nice. I haven't dry hit with it yet, but our guest says that it is the worst tasting dry hits ever. I want to find out if that's true. I also don't.
Test
So-
it for the viewers, Foob. Test it.
I'd say it's worth a try. It smooths out some harsh flavors. I mean, I've only tried a few juices on this, so I'm only 2 days in, so I'm gonna keep on this thesis, I guess I'm putting together for this wick.
Word.
Yeah.
So when I've seen it dry burn, it pretty much like breaks up into little pieces and turns into ashes, doesn't it? It's not like the cotton where it lights up.
I haven't done that.
Okay.
Like I haven't dry hit it. I haven't dry burned it. I just wicked it, wet it. And I've just been vaping off of it, and I haven't gotten near a dry hit yet.
Yeah. And how much was the box again?
I didn't buy the box. I got from I got some from my European connection, Lebrat Vapes.
Mhm.
And
I thought it was LeBray.
Little brave apes.
it's actually Lebrat. He's really
Oh,
sensitive.
my bad.
I thought it was Labra.
No.
You have to say
So,
Apparently, it's $11.99 for 500 feet.
500
Yes.
feet.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say
Five-
Sally's Beauty Supply apparently is pretty good.
how many feet do you use every time you use it? Like 3 feet or something?
I don't know.
Well, how much did you get?
Like a
You
medium
got a lot
sized
of people asking you to dry hit that shit on
And
camera.
then, well, here's the thing. I got a big bag. Like he stuffed like a little bag full of it, and then I gave half of the rayon to Rayon, and he's using it. And then, yeah,
This is the science and testing show, man. The people want to watch you do it live, dry burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big
We're
beat.
breaking shit, so I'm gonna zoom up on you.
and no, fuck you, chat. I'm not your monkey. But yeah, I mean, Rayon's a great wick. It just mumbles a lot, and I think I said this in chat. It draws dicks on everything.
Oh God. So somebody in there said, "Isn't rayon a synthetic fiber?" And I don't think it is, right? Isn't it just the cellulose from?
It is
like,
it is synthetic. I mean, it's not naturally occurring. It's made.
Right, but it's made with it's a product of a natural product, right? It's just I think it's just the cellulose and not the rest of all the junk in the garden, all the rest of the organic stuff. But then again, I haven't looked at it and researched it yet because I don't have any like Fubaka.
Yeah, it was just one of those. Oh, you got some. All right. Well, I'm going to see you this weekend, so let me give it a whirl. Let me give it a test drive. I like
Now
it.
you can use your wife's Sally points and go get you some rayon.
Well, dude, with all that nail polish on the wall, damn, you should be getting free rayon from life.
You don't know that in the rayon? Yeah, that's true. She's probably watching. She's probably using her points right now, saying "fuck that."
I got polish to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You got enough.
I wanted to give a oh sorry, Abba, is there anything else on that? That's the only thing you got in your notes.
Yeah, I just got a big bottle of raspberry. Surprise, surprise!
What?
And I ordered a black Nemesis tube on eBay because I'm getting burned by mine, or it's shocked or some shit. So
And you think a new tube's gonna help that?
yes, anodized.
Especially a black one.
Yeah, anodized tube.
Where's it? Does somebody have Sean muted? Because I haven't heard that horse in a long time. We're 15 minutes in. He hasn't said a peep. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
He's given Abed some time to talk.
I'm proud of him. He just gets a mute for that.
Yeah, because I bitch slapped him last week when he cut me off.
So I wanted to one of the things I've got here is I want to give a shout out to a friend of the show. His name is Jay, who lent me his Hannah to review for a little while. I'm going to. I don't really need to review it, but I've got a DNA 30 coming in, and since the only one that I've ever had is my this guy, I wanted to kind of get a handle on what everybody kind of considers a a really nice DNA 30 mod.
Subsequently, that Hannah that Jake lent you was my old Hannah.
That's right. Yeah, this is your old Hannah.
All right.
So I just want to say thank you for him. That was really cool of him. Oh, look, my Bombay's order just shipped. That was nice. That just came in. So saw something on ECR today that I thought was kind of funny. So it looks like somebody was being silly and decided to take a blowtorch to a mech mod just to see what would happen. I'm going to paste the link in here to chat so anybody can watch it if they want to watch it. I'm not sure what he was trying to show other than let's see what we can do to the battery, because I watched the whole thing and that was pretty much just what he wanted to do.
I think the battery had already vented, correct? The battery had already vented, and then he was just trying to make something blow up.
Right. Try to get it to thermal runaway, I assume, is what he was trying to do, because it vents like a minute into it, and there's a cut. There's a cut there too. So I think he had that thing under the torch for like 5 or 10 minutes before it eventually blew. But my thing with that is, yeah, it's a battery, and it's the same batteries that you've got in your phone and anything else. If you abuse them, there's a lot of power in those things, and I think people get used to just throwing a battery in something. Whether it's a kid's toy or a cell phone or your car or whatever. I don't think people take batteries seriously enough, but it definitely done blowed up.
Yeah, so, I think that was also a mixture of it just having that torch on that thin. What was that? Was that like brass or something?
It looked like a little like a thin stainless tube, and it definitely just got brittle as all hell, and
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say about that. I don't know if I actually have any other news. I think I covered everything last week that I've got in and around. Got some things coming, but it'll probably be a little time before that stuff gets here. Oh, you know what? I probably should show that one thing. I did a little work today to get a new graph going on my my little vaping budget spreadsheet, and I thought I'd show everybody to see if there's somebody that would be able to use something like this. So I actually got this little graph down here at the bottom. We've got one straight line, which is what I would have spent on smokes, and then we've got juice costs over time and hardware costs over time, and then this top green one is the total of juice and hardware. And then you see right here this little crossover. That means 2 days ago I actually broke even. It only took me almost exactly a year.
In about 2 weeks, you won't be broken even anymore.
Exactly. In 2 weeks, that little green line's... Oh, you can't see me. I'm still sharing. That little green line's going to kind of go do-do-do-do-do-do back over that red line. But that's kind of fun. So that spreadsheet's one, it started as one that I found on ECR about a year ago that somebody had done. And then I've done quite a bit of work to it to get it a little more dynamic and working a little bit better. But it's pretty slick, though. Gives you lots of little charts and stuff to keep track of how much you're spending, because some of us have got other expenses besides just our hobbies, and this kind of helps me keep track of it so I don't go completely overboard. I think that's about it. Take another little toot here. Toot life.
Nice.
Toot life from Grim.
Toot life from Grim.
All right. First thing I got is I wanted to talk. And
see, I love how he leaves me till the end. Okay, no, that's fine.
Go on the list. Go.
No. Go. No. I'm still pulling some stuff.
Now that is the established talking order that we've talked about.
Yes, it is.
It is.
So this 18350 20 amp 900 mAh battery, dude. I have looked fucking as far as I can, and I can find nothing to verify this battery. Absolutely nothing to verify that this is a 20 amp battery.
I'm calling bullshit.
I'm kind of going to call bullshit on this too, and I urge anybody not to fucking try to run this like it's a 20 amp battery, because it's an 18350. So, just, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even take that shot. I don't trust it, not even a little bit. I've never heard anything about it being used in vaporizers. It's a Fuji cell, so it's like a camera battery.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to go with no on that one. Yeah, it could, and somebody said it in the chat. It could be 20 amp pulse.
Yeah,
maybe. If that's the case, don't advertise it as 900 mAh 20 amp battery.
Well, that's what the E-Fest did, right? Didn't they have a similar sort of thing that they were claiming that purple one?
They screwed up and they got hit for it, right?
Yeah, as well they should have.
Like same thing with this. And I mean, dude, I can't find a C rating on this thing. I can't find anything. I've looked all over for it. I cannot find any information on this battery.
Mm-hmm.
Like there. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I lied. I did. Max discharge rate 5C. So it's a 5C 900 mAh or 800 mAh battery. Nominal capacity 800 mAh, realistically.
So 5C, isn't that wouldn't that be 10 amps?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
The problem is without a number on this battery, I can't match it to make sure it's the same battery. So I can't say for sure either. You know what I mean?
Is there, you don't have one on hand, do you?
No, I do not. I did not buy one.
Okay. I was gonna say we could try to pull the wrapper off and see.
I might actually order one and do just that.
Yeah.
Because I'm really curious. What else do I got?
I'm trying to remember what that formula is. I just Googled it.
Oh yeah, we have news. We have news that kind of lines up with our contest and giveaway. So, you know, we've only announced the giveaway in one place, other than here, and we're not going to announce it anywhere else. But it's going to run all week. So for all you guys who watch the replay of the show, we've been kind of wanting to line up a giveaway for you guys and line up a chance for you guys to win something. So
For the people that can't join live, yeah.
exactly. So this is your shot, right? So if you're watching now, you can still win it. We're not going to announce the winners till next week. I'll go into the news first, and then I'll explain what it is. So we had DZ Nuts on way back when, like episode 3.
Yeah.
We had Josh from Xmods on. So what he's given away is Josh has decided to switch from DNA mods to SX350 mods. He just thinks, oh yeah, speaking of, he's the guy who made these for us.
Right.
So he's taken the same form factor and he's.
What up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
Same form factor SX350 instead of a DNA.
For a variety of reasons, but
For a variety of reasons. We'll just go with that.
we'll leave it at that.
He's also changing his wholesaler. Instead of wholesaling them through himself now, all future mods are going to be released through the Vapors Null. Him and Rich set something up, had been talking through Hangouts and stuff, so all future mods from him are going to be available at the Vapors Null. But number one, because he's going to start the numbers over, he's doing for our show. So DZ, SX, 350, Nuts, I don't know what the fuck name.
I don't think it has a name yet.
I don't know what name he's going to have for it yet.
Right. But
But
it's the S size. It's the Hammond A-Box size with an SX in it instead of a DNA.
number one is going to be here on the show. It's going to have his new logo on the back, which I'm going to let him release, and it's going to have our logo on the front. It's going to be black box, white wrap, probably a P9 switch, because those seem to work really fucking well in everything.
Yep.
So to win, we all want a YouTube banner, a new YouTube banner that features our logo with the theme, The Beards of Hazard. That's the contest. You can email them. You can leave them on Facebook, leave them on Reddit. Anywhere that we call home, go ahead and just get it to us like that.
And it's going to be, well, so just look up the specs for the YouTube banner size.
Yes.
You know, we need to be able to use it for the banner. We didn't really, yeah. Beards of Hazard. We've had a few different variations on that. I kind of think leaving it a little bit open to interpretation is kind of cool, because we've seen a couple different guys take it on that, which is interesting.
Yep.
So you got a freaking week, guys. Let's put a little effort into this
Make
one. Huh?
some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Last thing that I have to talk about, and I'd be vaping it right now, but it's all gone, is this stuff. A buddy of mine, guy who runs G2 Vapor, is making a new line, all Native American themed, based off his heritage, and he hit me up. He's like, I hear you like cereal flavors. I'd like you to try this. It's called Wojape. It's pretty good. It's up there with the cereal. It's a little lighter, but I find that to make it a little bit more all-day-y. And specifically for Mass Blast, it will come in zero nic.
Hey.
Nice.
So I'm going to be getting a bottle to throw over your way, and hopefully get myself a bigger bottle tomorrow. But I guess that's going to be coming out in like a month, and it's good. I'm enjoying it a lot so far, so it'll be something to check out.
Send me a price on that thing. I'll take a bottle.
I
If you're
will
picking it
do
up.
that.
True.
That's all I got. You're up, Mast.
That's all, folks. All right, I have a few things. We'll go kind of quick. Today, we saw a post from on Reddit from Smoke Tech Carl. He's apparently one of the engineers and one of the guys over at Smoke Tech, and he posted about the Smoke Provec, Provec. Here is a direct picture link posted in the chat. It's basically a single 18650 round tube style vaping device that'll go anywhere from 3 to 12 volt in 0.5 volt increments. It'll do 6 watts to 36 watts, I believe, in 1 watt increments. It is using pulse width modulation. It's a high frequency, so I don't have one with me. I don't know if it has the rattlesnake on it or not. They're saying that it doesn't. And there's actually there's an app in the Apple Store that you can use, and you can change the settings up and down and all that in the within the app. So that seems kind of cool if that's what you're into. There's a YouTube video that I'll post in chat there, and it seems pretty cool. I mean, it is using the pulse width modulation, so that's one of the first things people asked about. Is it going to do the rattlesnake? So they're saying it doesn't. The ohms that it'll fire down to, they say it'll go all the way down to 0.1, which okay, but it says it'll go anywhere from 0.1 to 10 ohms. And to quote him, it says it's pretty cool. So I don't know about that, but I guess those are the limitations. He says that.
Did you see Todd was talking about that?
No.
His blog. He said he wasn't able to reliably get it to connect to his phone. He had an Android. I think he's had a Nexus of some sort, and then he bought a cheapo Android, and that wouldn't work either. So he said he's going to try to borrow an iPhone to see if it works on that.
Yeah, well, I've seen the videos and stuff has been all with an iPhone, and it does have a really short range. I'm assuming to consume less battery of the Bluetooth, because it uses Bluetooth to connect. And but this guy Smoke Tech Carl on the forum said anything below 0.5 it'll just go into like a pass-through mode, so it'll do 3.7 to 4 point whatever. So there you go. If you're into something with Bluetooth in it, go ahead and do it.
Mast?
Say again?
Any info on amps?
Yes, and I will put. Let me grab the link. They link to an Alibaba link that has some information on it, and I don't know if there's any amperage readings on there. I don't think so. So there's not much stuff on there. Just a bunch of. If somebody finds the amperage, put it up, and
that's all I know. But some of that information that's on there is going to be a sketch.
Yeah. So one of the things that I thought was really interesting is they're not releasing any just like single samples. MOQ is 10 pieces, so the price of it is around $64 a piece. Not bad. That's wholesale. But MSRP for the US is going to be $125. So.
God damn.
Yeah. So that's a bit on the pricey side. I think they think maybe the Bluetooth thing is going to appeal to people. I don't know. I mean, hey, I guess you always have your phone out, so you might as well. But who knows?
Well, actually, the shop I work at is working on something similar, like an app that tracks, like it's like the Nike running app on your phone, except with your actual like NIC consumption. It just has to be done right, really.
Yeah. Okay. So you could keep, a daily usage.
I'll have you on that
Jerdalti
next
in the Hangout. Jerdalti in the Hangout says it's 10 amps on that page.
10 amp. Okay. I mean, that's, pretty stout output, but up there in the price range when you can get a SX350 board, for around 65 and build yourself a mod for around, about the same price, and you can go 35 watt at the end of the month, 40 watts. So, just keep that in mind. It is, obviously if you're into the tubular style, then that'll work. So that's that. Next thing is one of our friends, Lonely Robot, basically took a Copper Stingray, straight Copper Stingray, cleared the serial number and everything else that was on it, and had everything flushed, sanded it down, and he did a force patina on it using a pink Hawaiian sea salt and lime juice. And you guys should see how this Stingray came out. It looks pretty awesome. I just posted a link to the picture. I believe there's some other pictures in the forum itself. It came out really good. So and there's a couple other ones that were done in there. He it turned out really cool. So I wanted to show that off. I believe he did it a little bit differently. He used he left, either after cleaning it off, left it there for a little bit longer. I don't know if he's in chat. He can let everybody know, but I think it turned out pretty cool. So he used wax to cover the threads and all that, which you want to protect when you're doing all this. But really, I'm starting to see a lot of interesting patterns and designs with the force patinas on the mods, which is kind of cool. But another thing when you're doing that, and we might do something like that in Tech Time. I'm not sure yet. I know I've had some people ask me about it, but you always want to seal the device after with some kind of lacquer or something like that. So if we get some requests, we'll be doing something like that. So pretty cool looking Addy there. And the next thing that I saw today, which I thought it was pretty cool looking, was the Cerberus RDA by Futune. It's been out, I'd say, for a little bit. It's kind of on the pricey side, and but this thing's freaking huge. I saw somebody posted a picture about it today, and let me see if I can find the top side view. But you could do something like some crazy 12 coils in this thing. It's on the pricey side. The only thing that I wondered about were the holes, the air holes. So if you got one of those and you're in chat, let us know how those work, because the air intake holes seem kind of small. I know that's only one picture of it, but yeah, it's the well on it is gigantic, and it's got you can either do 3 coils or 6 or 12 or and it's 28.5 millimeter, so kind of cool looking, and it's got the cap on the side, and it also does. It's kind of made to go on the Hades on the Hades tube mod, and it has kind of the base. You can remove the base, and it turns into a hybrid, and it basically fits right onto the Hades itself. And
which it kind of needs to, because that Hades has got that weird little top gappy thing going on, right?
Yep. So, and that's about it. Other than what's everybody vaping on? Do the rundown real quick. I got I'm vaping on some Karmic Vapor Vishuddha, and this is a chakra base with blueberry. This stuff is delicious. So check them out, karmicvapor.com. What you vaping on, Angsty?
Borrowed Hannah Rose. Inside the Rose is Parliament Funkadelic from DB Liquids. One of my little collabs, which I think is really good. And always got the raspberry. I think we've got. Actually, you know what? I may be going all DB because I think I got Strog in this. And this
Nice.
sexy little guy here. Little Mass Mini
Oh
mod.
yes.
My Mass Mini mod's got a Z on it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Still tastes good though.
It's kind of weird. What you got there, understudy?
I got myself a bottle of Kiss the Ring from Bombies.
Oh, that's what just shipped
Ooh.
for me.
This stuff is.
I saw somebody comment on that today. They said they got it and it tasted like chemicals or something.
I have not had that experience with it. I got a sample bottle in and then I ordered a 15 ml. And man, this stuff, it's good. I mean, it's Nana Cream base with custard. It's really enjoyable. I'm digging it a lot on the K-Fun Nano and DZ.
Nice. And how about you, Foo? Other than the chips, what you vaping on?
Salt and vinegar, yo.
Oh god, that would be a terrible vape.
Yeah.
Bite your
Feel
tongue.
like that crab juice. Yeah, you will be biting your tongue. That stuff will just
No,
destroy your
actually, no. The insides of my lips will be peeling off tomorrow when I'm behind the counter. I got my Gimpy Nemesis clone electrical tape swag. This is a limited edition electrical tape wrap.
One of one.
Wait, so that's instead of J-Wraps, that's 3M wrap, right?
I
3M electrical tape.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
nice.
got the Infinite Stellar swag, with Cantaloupe Tobacco from DB, as I mentioned earlier, with that rayon wick.
Nice.
Job like the.
Nice. So
Nice.
as we're talking about juice, I want to comment on one other thing. I put in an order at our guest tonight's prodding, I suppose would be the right word, to this place called the Vape Kitchen, which I guess he had gotten a chance to talk to them. He said they're quite possibly the most passionate juice vendors he's ever met in his life.
I think I just spoke over you a minute ago. What was the name of the
Yeah,
juice?
was it?
The Vape Kitchen.
Mm.
So
Not
put
to
it
be
in
confused
order,
with the Cloudy Kitchen.
Yeah, not the cloudy.
No, not the Cloudy Kitchen. So I put it in order. I think I ordered three juices. They have like a strawberry custard,
Mm.
which sounds phenomenal. It's called strawberry panna cotta, Italian cream custard. And then I ordered, what else did I order here? Let me look. Hawaiian snow cap, which is passion fruit, orange, guava, and other tropical flavors with condensed milk.
Mm.
Nice.
I ordered peaches and cream. I'll be honest, almost all the juice that they have sound really good. Like this Zabababa, sweet vanilla taffy with rich creamy peanut butter. I can't do peanut butter, but still. And I'm excited to try it. And they just commented on Instagram when I said that I ordered it. And they're like, we hope you like it. And I'm like, good, you need to come on the show.
Hmm.
So
True.
might
Wait.
want to know.
Let's wait and see if it's any good first.
we can't necessarily trust Chuff already.
Right.
So, are we ready to announce our
think
guest?
We are ready.
Yeah.
All right. So, without further ado, this is user Chuffalingus. He's the person who created waves in the vaping community by taking the Manhattan and showing how it vents. So here's his introduction.
A man who shows his left testicle to his friends. It's Jeremy Hall.
Welcome, Jeremy. He's got to unmute himself. I know he looks cool, but
Yo, see, he gets it. He gets chips, man.
What up,
Yeah.
guys? Got the Kettle Cook swag.
what up, y'all?
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
I got a roasted garlic and sea salt lattice cut.
Oh.
Back up.
Oh, see, you got Ahmed with the uts, and he's got the.
I think he out-chipped you.
Hashtag
I think you.
white.
No, he's
Nice.
my chips are never.
Crucify him.
All right.
Welcome, Mr. Chuff.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
This is gonna be great.
So that, whatchamacallit, the Cerebrus,
Yeah.
The Cerberus? Yeah.
I've seen that in person.
Yeah.
Really cool looking Addy, but the first thing that strikes you about it is here you have this 28 millimeter atomizer, right?
Yep.
And all the other 28 millimeter atomizers are like so much space.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All the space is taken up. There's
Really?
very little space for each coil because of the way they have that sort of star thing in the center that takes up the
Yep.
whole depth. So you've got, I would say at most the same amount of space you would have for a coil on a 22 millimeter, maybe even a little less.
Wow.
And the other thing that's really weird about it is the way they oriented the post holes for the wire to go through.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're in completely the wrong place.
Yeah, it's like one's facing one way and the other one's like totally opposite. I saw that.
Yeah, really like
Yeah.
bizarro world.
Yeah. Well, and the holes look really small too. I don't know what size those air holes are, but
And the thing,
That
you got
small
reduced
space
chamber.
might be good then, right? Like that
Yeah.
small space might be really good for
Reduced
flavor.
chamber plus small air hole, probably good flavor.
Yeah, dude, that's an issue that a lot of these 28 millimeter drippers have had. They have so much space inside that all the flavors toast.
yeah.
but I mean, this is a little far in the other direction, I think. The other thing, if you think about that big star of stainless steel in the center, it's not going to be surprising to hear that the thing is heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, I saw the base. The base, it adds like that much to the total height of the
Yeah.
the Addy. And I mean, yeah, if you have a Hades, you could put it on there, but it is pretty neat, like how the bottom is, and you can adjust it and stuff like that. But yeah, see, that's why I wondered, because I saw the video of the guy using it, and when he's inhaling, it sounds like he's trying to draw through a little straw, because there's like, I think you can have, there's like 4 or 5 or 6 holes, but only 4 show with the lid. So there you go. That's how he's got to do it, like that.
I would zoom up on him if he's going to do that, though.
I'll say one thing though. I mean, if you're talking about a 26650 mod, you're not in it for weight savings anyway, right? So
No,
if it
yeah.
adds another ounce or two, nah, it's already a 1 pound mod anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, it's I don't know. It's a big heavy thing, but it's one of those things that, like, I saw it sitting in the display case of the shop, and I was like, oh, that's badass. Let me check that out. And they pulled it out. I was looking at it, and the longer I looked at it, the less interested I was in actually having one.
Yeah.
But a lot of like wow factor when you first see it sitting there.
Mhm.
So
Nice. So why don't you tell us, Chuff, how you
Got internet famous?
how everything basically started, and we can give a little bit of background. Anksy, a little bit about the review that Todd did.
We talked about this like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So just to catch
Todd
everybody up, I think the short version is Todd contacted Ameribait because he was doing a review on the Manhattan, the competition mech, and said that his normal test, which is blowing in the top of it, wasn't venting like a normal hole would in most mechs, how they work. And the conversation degraded from there. It both people getting a little huffy and accumulating with Ameribait basically taking a hard stance that yes, this does vent and you're a jerk and we're gonna sue you. Whoever you want to side on that is whatever. But that's the short of it. And then somebody, Chuff here, has got one, and he's been talking about it for weeks in the Hangouts.
And Shufflingus is here to bring the science.
And he's like, well, it does vent, and I can show you that it vents. So he puts this video out.
Fucking shit.
So what basically drove you to saying, you know what, I gotta show these guys that this stuff does vent, like, is it just because you have the ability to, or?
Originally it was just, it was obvious to me that it was going to vent, just from looking at it. So that that thread on ECR I thought was way overblown, and I was Dicks.
It's cool. I'm just gonna zoom up on this. Go for it.
I was honestly pretty surprised that so many people saw Todd blowing through the 510 connector and immediately were like, "It's a bomb," you know.
Okay, Uncle Fester.
So I tried to bring a little sanity, I thought, to the original thread and say, you know, it's gonna vent, and this is why. And it seemed like, you know, nobody was willing to believe me, and we all know how quick people can be to, you know, grab their pitchforks.
He was doing one of the.
ECR does like their they do like their crucifixions, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So, you know, regardless of who you think is right or wrong, and like I said in the video, regardless of whether or not you want to give your money to Amerivape, I feel like, you know, you can dislike them as people, you can dislike them as a company, whatever, but the device that they've put out there works as designed, and I felt like it should get a fair shake. You know, so I made the video. That's pretty much it.
Which is cool too, because both Todd and Amerivape shared it, right? They both saw it and they're like,
Right.
yeah, see, see.
you see,
That's the interesting thing about it. And you know, I was telling you guys in the hangout before that I met Eric Hutchinson, I think is his last name. I could be getting that wrong, but I think it's Hutchison at Vape Summit here in Vegas over the weekend. And we had a pretty nice long chat about all this stuff, but literally the first thing he said to me was, we didn't make our own video. What were his exact words? We didn't make our own video because we didn't want to tip our entire hand, which I don't know what that means. And because they were afraid that people would have accused them of monkeying with the mod. So at that second part, like I said, the first part I don't have the first clue what he's talking about. But that second part, I'll actually give him that, because I got some people accusing me of monkeying with the mod, checking up the button in my lathe, turning some of the diameter off.
The most common response? Well, what would it do with a battery in it?
Right. Yeah. And everybody's so quick to sort of explain it away, like, well, sure, it vents in that situation, it must not vent. You know, people are like looking for reasons why it wouldn't vent, but I can actually show you guys live on air right now why it will vent with a battery in it, maybe.
I mean, you can
he's setting that up.
But if you see
If
here,
my amp goes up well enough.
yeah, have a look here in this GIF that I've had open.
Can you see
I've had that big screen.
Can you see those ridges above each of or those grooves cut into the top of each of the vent holes?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you look at it with a battery on it, you know, you've got a nice deep ridge there. So there's no way for this battery to block those vent holes, because that air is going to go right into those grooves and straight out through. I mean, each of these grooves is deeper than the clearance around the button. So if the air is able to...
Now, I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I read a little while back that the batteries are designed to vent out the positive terminal. Is that not true?
You know, most of the batteries that I've seen did vent out the positive terminal.
Yeah. So the perfect test then would be somehow seeing if it could get out via the 510 then, if it couldn't get around the battery, right?
Right. Which we're going to do.
Are you going to set it up now?
To vent right now?
Have you tried having the battery in it with your connector and try to pressurize it, see if it'll vent with a battery in it?
I haven't. You want
That
me to?
would be pressure coming in from the top 510, right? That's your test.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be pressure coming in from the
the
top.
issue with the battery venting from the top is this theory that the battery is going to swell enough to block the tube so the air can't get to the bottom.
Right.
So,
Right.
You know, let's say that is in fact a problem, right? And the battery is going to swell the tube enough to seal it up, and the air can't get to the bottom. If that's the case, then roughly 98% of the mech mods on the market aren't going to vent.
Right. Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because on that video that Angsty posted earlier, one thing you can clearly see is the guy is using a device that looks like this, M16 or some of those that have vent holes about halfway down. Okay,
Right.
so let's open this up. You see these vent holes that are about halfway down the mod, right? And he's got it standing up like this. Well, in his video, the battery had already vented. Okay, so if there was going to be any normal expansion of the battery would have expanded already because it had already vented. Well, when you watch the video and he takes it to that catastrophic failure, you see gases coming out of the middle continually all the way till the battery just blows up.
Right.
Okay, and that is a ridiculous scenario. Your mod will never, get to that thermal runaway point. I mean, you're holding a torch to it,
Right.
And you could see the gases escaping from there. So that's one, test that you could say, look, gases can escape from the top to the middle or the bottom of the mod. And I mean, and the mod comes off apart down at the bottom anyways.
Right.
And that was a battery that had already vented.
Much for air to find a way through, right?
And air pressure doesn't
That's
give
correct.
a fuck. You have to keep that in mind. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's air.
Wherever the
Take
easiest
a
path.
very minuscule gap to fly through.
Right.
But for the same reason that some of the stuff that people had said about yours, that's why when we try to replicate the Hannah catching on fire later, we were gonna actually try to replicate it catching on fire and make it blow up. But then we kind of figured that people would call foul because we made it blow up. So we decided to spare the theatrics so that whatever our result is can't be challenged later.
Right. So,
One thing I was going to mention, so in the chat here, somebody says Clear Vapor is his name. He says he's got a Manhattan and he doesn't have those little grooves in his switch.
Really?
Interesting.
Mhm. I wonder if there's been multiple versions.
Ask him to take a picture, put it up on. Oh, maybe his isn't the competition edition.
Oh shit!
Please don't sue me. No, hey, take a picture. Take a picture of it and throw it up. It'd be interesting to see if there's different
You
versions.
can get a picture. I'll share it here on the show. We'll put it live up.
I'd be interested to do that too, because I've actually seen dozens of Manhattans. They've popped up everywhere out here, and I've never seen one without them.
Yeah, let's see a
So-
picture. I'm down.
So it didn't happen.
Yep. I'll watch for it if it comes up. I'll-
So are you still planning on taking one out to the desert with a battery in it and actually trying to blow it up, Jeff? Or?
Yeah, I've got I've got all of these VTC 4s and 5s, and these two bags are both full of AWIMRs, MNKEs, Sony's 30 amp EFES, or 30 amp EHs. I mean, I've got some of the purple EFES. I've got 8 or 10 brand new batteries that are straight out of the wrapper.
Well,
And we're gonna see. I'm gonna throw them in some clones I've got laying around, and I'm gonna do it also in this gunmetal Manhattan.
so Clear Vapor, since your Manhattan's at work, when you get a chance to take a picture, shoot us a picture and we'll share it next week.
Yep.
Or
Or if somebody else has a Manhattan.
Or if somebody else has it.
Is that the one that Amerivate posted on their Instagram this morning? Sonos Main?
The tiny image.
Yeah, I didn't click on the link, but
Yeah, this one looks like it vented from the top.
interestingly, the 4.9 does not have vent holes in the top. Those would be sealed against the bottom of the atomizer. Those are intended as a way to get the top cap off of the.
Well, that's
Awesome.
true, but it does have two big holes in the top cap, though.
It does have holes in the top cap, but if your atomizer's all the way down on there, they're going to be reasonably sealed.
That's true. That's true.
I wouldn't consider them venting holes.
No, that's
You guys.
Just so people can see this picture, let me share it here real quick. There we go.
All right.
Oh, yep. That is the one that Amerivape shared that on their Instagram today.
So there you go. There's a battery vented from the top. This person says it works.
So here's an MNKE on the switch. Same thing you've already seen, and I actually. Let me make sure that this doesn't stick down through the top cap.
Yeah, don't have a real venting.
I don't want to test this too thoroughly right here.
Oh, come on! I'm blowing something up in the garage here in a few minutes. You can at least give us a little show.
That's true. That's fair. I gotta get some water out of it.
As he runs to go grab the bucket of water.
Bucket of water.
Yeah, I mean, while he's doing... Oh.
This is way higher than I did in the video. I'm set at 75 PSI right now.
Oh.
So
This should be fun.
interesting. You guys ready?
Do it.
Let's do it. And it vents.
Now turn it way the hell.
But wait, Chuff. The batteries don't vent at 75 PSI. They only vent at like 10.
Well, if you're competition testing it, yes.
Yeah. Hey, okay, now put the battery in the tube and shoot it across the room. This ought to be cool. I just want to, see, those are the things that would happen if I... All right, here we go. Let's see. Yes! This is why it's bad for me to be doing things like this.
Yeah, that's some like American Gladiator shit. That was awesome.
Oh, that's one of them.
Here we go.
One more.
Yeah. Let me blow it backwards so you guys can see what kind of velocity this sucker actually has.
Hit the sander. Oh no! Wait. Better yet, hit your electric box. That'll make a nice sound.
Have him go for the wall. That way we can see it hit the wall.
No! Hit the electric box.
Electric box.
Electric box. Electric box. Clues are hazard, y'all. Don't try this at home. Hazard is our last name. Oh, this is great. Now, what you can do with your Manhattan, you can shoot batteries.
Hi, I'm Puffaluffagus. Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah.
It's an undocumented
Bad idea.
Good.
Local shop owner arrested after
Hey, can somebody send Todd did he get rid of his Manhattan yet? Somebody send Todd an email and say, "Yo, let's have a competition on how far you can blow that battery." See how much PSIs you got.
That was,
and that pretty little mouth. Mm-hmm.
That was classic.
You want to go set up for the canna here, Mast?
Yep. I will.
All right, I'm gonna drop you out of here, and then he'll be right back so that we can try catching a can.
Lab Rat just said he just killed some lady across the street.
Oh, yeah. The one that I did see in there that I thought was really funny was Matt Jang. You need a competition compressor, obviously. You had kind of mentioned before the show too that you've probably talked about this a lot more than you ever planned in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's funny. Vape Summit was huge, a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be before I got there, actually. And as I was walking around Vape Summit, I would hear like groups of people whispering to each other, "Hey, that's that Manhattan guy," which is really strange. I met some lady that told me she was a big fan, which kind of threw me back a little bit because
you legitimately almost have more views on your Manhattan video than we do in all of our shows combined.
Yeah. Dude, maybe she was just miring the way your mouth worked that tube.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Might have been, yeah. So it's been really kind of a weird experience, and that's what everybody wants to talk about, and everybody has an opinion about it.
Now you can just reference this video.
I think the funniest thing that's happened when I was talking to Eric, the Amerivape guy, at Vape Summit, we walked up to like a friend of his, and he was like, "Hey, this is Jeremy. This is the guy that did the Manhattan video." And he was like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you. You're not an engineer. I'm an engineer." I thought that was really funny.
That is funny.
But I do want to say, I mean, I told you guys before the show, you know, all kidding aside, and their response to Todd aside, which we can all agree was not the way to go. You know, what I saw from them at Vape Summit was, I mean, truly, I believe them genuinely doing the best that they can to try and do like good things for the community. You know, everything I heard about them, I heard out of them at Vape Summit was not at all promoting AmeriVape, and it was all about promoting, you know, vaping in general, things that are good for the community. You know, the battle against regulation, and all of these things, and that seemed to be their focus more than self-promotion. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah. And you know, they went to the expense to have a film crew with them that had nothing to do with promoting AmeriVape. Everything I saw them doing with that film crew was about doing things for the vaping community, and you know, nothing about them as a company or their products.
And then the film comes out, first screen, paid for by AmeriVape, every 5 minutes an AmeriVape ad.
Right. Well, yeah, we'll reserve judgment on that. We actually see.
Don't sue me either.
But do you guys mind if I give a shout out to these guys?
No, go ahead, hit it.
The Vape Kitchen, thevapekitchen.com.
I just talked about them a minute ago, man.
Out of hundreds of vendors that I saw at Vape Summit, these are the only guys that actually got cash out of me. This is the only place where I actually bought liquid. The guy that owns it and makes all the liquid, comes up with all the flavors. He makes his own extracts. He's seriously, in the thousands of people that I've met in this industry, he's by far the most passionate juice maker that I've ever spoken to. We probably tried 30 plus flavors at his booth. Every one of them was good. And 3 of the flavors that I got from him, I've already vaped through the entire bottles since Saturday. On the expensive side, but it's really, really high quality stuff.
You convinced me to put in an order, and then I was just talking to them on Instagram, and my order shipped. And from what you said, you know, if their juice is what you're saying it is, man, I think we're going to try to have them on.
Yeah, I think they, you know, honestly, even if you don't like the juice, I still think he'd be a great guest for you, because he's, like I said, super passionate about it and very knowledgeable about flavors. Yeah, I think he'd be good for you guys to have on. And I have a Igo M right here with rayon in it that is completely dry to the point that the coils are glowing. If you want to see me dry burn it.
Dry hit it.
I'm not going to dry hit it, but I will dry burn it.
Do it!
The dry hits with this leave an aftertaste that sticks with you for, I'm not exaggerating, 30 to 45 minutes.
Well, that's the rest of the show, man. That's good.
Well, dude, that's why you need salt and vinegar chips. Get that right out.
But I'll dry burn it. We'll see what happens to it.
No flames yet. No flames.
Yeah. I want to see if it crumbles.
Your coils are a little uneven, though, Jeff.
Well, one of the wicks is drier than the other one.
Ah. Somebody just joined the channel. Chuff a linguist.
My fucking
smoke detector.
Detector off.
I hope you've got sprinklers in there, because that'll make all your tools really.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm now wondering. But yeah, it's not catching fire, obviously.
Yeah.
God damn, R+, chill with the gifs in chat.
Right?
God damn. Everybody's saying dry hit.
You know, I can actually see it under the coil, like kind of disintegrating. It's a little bit like if you've ever set dryer lint on fire. When I was a kid, we used to use it as fire starters when we'd go camping.
Yeah.
A little bit like that.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Oh yeah, check that out. It just
Still singeing.
like everything inside the coil is gone. The only thing that's there is what was outside of it.
Which
So it
makes
pretty much disintegrates then.
It does, apparently. Yeah, there's like very few little burn bits just right at the edges. Basically everything that was inside the coil is gone.
All right, that test is done. On to the canna.
Sure. Okay, so Sean, do you want to give a little bit of intro on the Canna mods and things that have been happening about while I get one more thing set up?
Yeah, sure. So these things came out, and a lot of people were hailing these as like the replacement for the Hannah. You know, an $80 30-watt device, and that would be phenomenal. That would be absolutely great. So I figured, you know, I got to order one. We got to test it. We got to see what's going on with it, see if it works, all that. So I ordered one. It came in. I played around with it for a couple days. I noticed that it's not quite as consistent as a DNA, but it's a pretty good replacement for $80. I had a few issues with the watt selection dropping like 1 watt on me. I had a few issues with the ohm meter not reading on certain addies. All those small issues. So I'm laying in bed one night, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still up. And I start reading a post about this thing catching fire. It's charging with an Addy on it, plugged into my computer. I went downstairs, pulled out the battery, unplugged it, took the Addy off, set it aside.
Time out for you.
Shipped it to Mast here to try to replicate the fire in a much safer environment than I would be able to. Because we've seen quite a few threads now about this thing catching on fire, right? Like probably 4 or 5 threads or something like that.
Yep.
Or more. And this, you know, the goal of this is to basically give an honest take on whether or not we can make what has happened to some of them happen to this one.
And again, taking all into consideration that just because this one does it or doesn't do it doesn't mean yours is going to. Okay? This is just trying to, you know, experiment with it, see what happens, so you don't have to. And I just pretty much, this is a no logo. Took the back panel off here.
Oh, for reference, this is from Elevate Vape as well.
Okay. And there's, you know, the scribbled numbers, so you can guys see them there. And here is the internals. And as you can see, the holograms have been ripped apart because I just opened it up. So we'll pop this screen out here. Screwdriver.
And we should also preface that I'm in no way against, you know, somebody picking one of these up. They're nice $80 devices. Just with some of the reports, just be careful, you know?
Yep. So see, here's your internals. The only thing that I have done differently is you have to take this screw out right here to remove the lid. So I put that back in because that's where the negative goes. Okay. And there is a shot of the inside. Okay. You have your battery wires.
Looks about as well put together as a real Hannah, huh?
You have your sled. Okay. And you have all the internals there. I mean,
threads everywhere.
Yeah, I don't want to. I wanted to clear it up a little bit just in case we had something come up. But you know what? This is going to be unbiased, straight up. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you know, I don't want to say I sabotaged it or anything like that. So this is how it is from stock. You can see the glue is just, you know, covered.
You could use some more hot glue.
So, and here's the front. Here's the 510. This is the 510 that, you know, people are you know, talking about because
we have a positive connector.
As you can see, that positive connector is huge. So to that, I know that there's I forget the Addy that a lot of people are having issues with. I know the iGo L was one of them. And basically it's going to be an Addy that has something that is flat. Not this one. This one obviously sticks out a little bit, but is more like this, the Authentic Helios that I have here, where, let me get it to focus. See how flat that is? Okay, that center pin. That, if you have something like that, can cause an issue. So we're going to try using this one on there. And I also have a Kanger Pro Tank head, okay, that has the center pin pushed in as much as possible. And I also have the end off of a Cardo tank, okay. And the reason I have this, let's get it to focus, is I have it wired to my voltmeter to check for continuity, meaning I want to see if I can push this bottom piece far down enough to see if I can create a short. Okay, so we'll try that first. As you can see, if the end is pushed down far enough onto something, you'll hear that audible beep. Okay, and basically that is from someone taking and squishing this down as far as possible on the 510. So, it's just wired up to the center and the outside.
Which happens, right? So that's not something that I would consider an uncommon happening.
Correct.
In vaping, right? There's a few different Addies and mods that will definitely push that pin up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so basically I just want to make sure it's ready to go there. It's nice and flat. So first thing we'll do is we'll just put it in and twist it here. And all I'm just going to try to do is, basically put it down till it stops. Okay, and then crank down on it. Okay, and that is as far down as it'll go, and no audible beep. Okay, so with something like that, this obviously has a wider outer shell than that center pin, so that's okay. And this is cranked down all the way. Okay, so we'll pull that back out. That test pass. Now that doesn't mean that if you have something that is, has a smaller inner diameter, okay. Like I said, there's been a few Addies that people have put on there that have been able to do that. Or if you have any metal shavings in there, or if that center piece moves or anything like that. Again, this is completely stock. Sean, have you used this at all, or just
I
a
have
week?
probably used it for a day and a half.
Okay. So there you go, a day and a half. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I'm going to take the Kanger. This has a 2 ohm or 1.8 or 2 ohm coil on it. As you can see it, I just have it open right there. And we're going to go ahead and put this in, and again, finger tight. How we doing on time, guys? Okay, so 15.
We're good.
Okay, so we'll do finger tight, and this is a. I'm going to use NCR 18650 PD. This is looks familiar. It's one of the ones we rewrapped. Okay, and this is my battery taker outer device. Because we're really not here to see if the battery will vent. We're here to see if any issues happen with the device. I will leave the battery in there as long as I think is safe. And and if the battery does vent, I have a bucket of water and fire extinguisher and everything here for safety, just in case. Okay, and we're doing this on a almost inch thick piece of Delrin. So. If anything happens, we can just slide it off right into the bucket. So we'll go ahead, positive side, negative side. Okay. And there's a battery inserted. I'm going to... There is your 8.2 watts. Okay. And let's turn it all the way down. Okay. 7 watts, and we'll go ahead and fire it on that. Okay, you see it, they're firing. And it's reading at 1.9 ohms, which is pretty close. Now, I don't remember. Are the ohms supposed to disappear on these
What's that?
when you're firing it? Or is the ohm sign supposed to disappear on them? I don't remember if an actual DNA does that or not.
Is it flashing right now?
No,
Yeah.
it's just. Oh yeah, it is flashing. So
It's
we'll
flashing
bump it up.
because it doesn't down the.
Right. So it's at 3.6. So let's crank this sucker up. And it's probably still gonna flash. So we'll do
Push
15.
it to the limit.
So we'll do 15.
Everybody.
And that's firing at 5.3 volts. Oh, and it locked. So there's 5.3 volts. Firing, no problem. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Addy and I'm going to crank it down more than hand tight.
I think getting warm yet?
Yeah. Grab my pliers here. Okay, so that's all the way down. Let's see if it'll read a short. Nope, still firing. Just fine. Locked again. So firing, no problems. I'm actually going to fire this coil till it burns. So I'm going to turn it all the way up. Stress test this thing. I'm going to see if I can get the screen and the coil on the same shot here. Okay, so we are at 30 watts. Okay, and 1.9 ohm coil. You guys can see that thing glowing there. And it's firing at 7.4. And she's gone. Okay, now it just says check atomizer.
Check atomizer.
Yep.
So it popped
Okay.
the coil.
Yep, pop the coil. I don't feel any heat or anything like that. Okay. So there it is. I'm trying to fire it. Just says check atomizer. So what we'll do is, let me come in here and verify that the coil is pumped. And it is. I mean, it's just completely gone. So let's pull this sucker off of here.
So for everybody, while he's doing that, that's expected, right? I mean,
Right.
that's firing a protein coil way hotter than it's normally ever going to
Correct.
go.
That's what we want to see. Okay, so there's your pro tank. Now, next thing we want to do is at the 30 watts, I have an IGO L here that we're going to put on here, and we'll crank it down as far as it'll go. There's some gnarlified coil. I don't even know if this thing... Okay, so this is reading 1.2 ohm, and I just got a check atomizer a second ago, but let's see. We'll just pulse this thing to see. You can see the coil lighting up there. And now we're going to do a constant 30 hit. And it's still going. At 5.8 volts. Well, that's some good canthal. Oh, and I just saw the canthal break apart. And now we get check atomizer. Okay. So
How
I'm trying
good
to
does it
fire
smell
it.
right there? How good does that smell right now?
It's pretty bad. So, okay, there it is. There this is, all the way down as far as I can screw this down on. Okay, got nothing. All right. Obviously, your check atomizer is going to come up when it does not detect a ohm reading or an atomizer on there. We'll take this off. All right. There's your check atomizer. All right, now we're going to put the Helios on here, and the Helios has a pretty low pin here, but you know the Helios, you know, is like any other normal Addy. It is wide on the outside, so I'm not saying it's gonna touch in the center, but you know that's the only other atomizer that I had that could, you know, we could test this on. And before I fire it, what I want to do is I just want to check the continuity on this to see if it is touching before I go and fire it. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so just check one more thing. I'm not going to be able to do it with the coils on. So let's just... Alright. Let's just go ahead and fire this guy. I'm going to crank down as much as I can on this. That's all the way down. And let's put the battery back in. Safety first. And let's see what it reads. That reads a 0.6 ohm coil, and it's going to fire at 4.3 volts. And there it is firing. Okay. Firing just fine. You can see the coil's getting red. Okay, so that's working fine on a 0.6 ohm coil with this Helios. So let's take this guy off. And that was down there pretty tight. Again, trying to replicate everything, holding the center pin. And now let's go ahead and for the final test, let's go ahead and short the center pin. And I'm going to do that by using a 510 tap, meaning I'm going to be able to screw this all the way down. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to basically short, kind of like, holding the screwdriver in there or trying to replicate an atomizer that has something on there. And basically it's going to make connections, positive with the negative, okay? So let's do that now. Okay, and I believe we're all the way down. Alright, and we're going to fire this sucker. Oh, look at that. You see that, Sean?
I do.
Shorted.
Very interesting.
So now let's just hold it while it's saying shorted and see what happens. See if I detect any heat.
Considering that's exactly what that intro video did not show.
Yeah. Now, I should...
Flickering, or is that just me?
That's the screen refresh rate. I should add too, and I hadn't thought about it, but I read somewhere that the Elevate ones weren't the Cloudpore ones, which they linked everything to Cloudpore on their website, but something about the internal build looking different. I saw that on a thread somewhere.
I don't feel any heat coming from the inside, and I'll continue to hold. Yep. And what you're seeing flickering there, that's the refresh rate on my camera. So,
because what's interesting is the Cloudpore ones specifically, and this is interesting to me, they were shoving screwdrivers in there and they weren't saying shorted.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here's something different. Okay, I can fire it like this, and it just says check. Let me see if I can. It just says check atomizer. Okay, I don't have the pin all the way down to short. So with it saying check atomizer, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way down. And I don't feel any heat. I don't see anything out of the back side. It still says check atomizer. If I let go of it, and now it says shorted. Okay. So we'll try to pull this and go back down. Yep. Just a shorted, which is good. It's what it's supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Battery not warm at all. And internal seem okay. Not warm.
Labrat saying Elevate was Cloudboard according to Arland. I don't know if that's the owner or what, or who Arland is.
Let me try taking this.
I'm trying to see if I can find the thread too.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna try to take this out of this IGO here, and I'm gonna try to manually provide a resistance across it.
You see what Lou just said? The one that he has was produced by a company named KSD. Not. He didn't get an Elevate.
And I do have another one coming in from Project 2501. I don't know which one he ended up getting, but we'll test that one too. Let me put this guy on here, and let's see if we can get this wire to light up. So. Oh. So I'm just taking some of the Kanthal up, and there goes the Kanthal melted. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some actual wire and put it across the leads here. And this might be too much resistance for it, but we'll check it to see. So I'm just going to take a piece of wire and try to hold it across the two leads here. I don't know if we're getting a...
It's shorted.
Did it say shorted?
I did.
Yep. Again, this is going above and beyond. I'm taking some wire and trying to short the leads across, and it's saying shorted. I mean, that's what it's supposed to say. So, if you do a simple test and yours is not doing that, then you might have an issue. The only other surefire way to definitely break this thing is if you put the battery in backwards, and it does not have reverse polarity protection. So you put the battery in backward, it is going to melt. So that's up to you, Sean, if you want to send it out or if you want to just try to save the chip and use it for something else.
I sent you a chip along.
Say what?
I said I sent you a chip along.
Oh, I know. I just didn't know if you wanted to.
Oh, the chip that's in there? Dude, if you want to melt it on air, melt it.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
So here we go.
I mean, some people came here for fire, so...
Batteries? Yeah.
If you're going to put the battery in there backwards...
Yep.
Why don't you short it at the same time?
Short it and have the battery in backwards?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know battery in backwards will, something's gonna happen. So.
Right. But I mean, just curiosity. I mean, we don't know what the situation is with.
Yep. All right. Let me get short here.
While you're doing that, Padrino from the chat saying some of the comments and threads hinted at low battery malfunction, so it was only doing it on a low charge.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I have a battery that's almost dead. Let me grab that real quick.
Yeah, let's do that first.
1 second.
Every single test right here.
Mm-hmm.
Trollhouse Cookie, that's kind of why I'm wondering what happens if it's shorted and the battery's in backwards.
Agreed. I mean, if we can replicate fire, then we can probably pick a good reason why there's fire, right?
Because he's saying possible it's user error, and I'm thinking if somebody's going to go online to crucify somebody for their mod catching on fire, they're not going to admit the...
To user error, yeah.
I don't think we've had a show where people have been talked about blowing up shit so much, and I'm not the center of... Hashtag white people.
You should have worn a vest, man.
Don't say hashtag white people. You should be proud of everybody.
All right, I'm back. Here's
No.
my other PD, and let me. I'm gonna set it up real quick. Do my battery puller outer. You know, safety first. And this guy is pretty low. We get a voltage reading real quick. See how low it actually is. And let's see, we are reading, without any load, we're reading at 3.3 volts.
That's low.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Low. So we should be able to see it come up and then have the battery tell us, you know, low voltage. So let's go ahead and remove the pin so we can show the low battery here. There's your battery. Let's see if it'll even fire. Okay, so we got a
atomizer.
check atomizer. Okay. Let's put the Helios on it real quick to show that it does fire.
Well, that once we put load on there, it should say check battery.
And here we go. It's taking its time in firing, but it's slowly firing. It doesn't fire it as fast as before. Try that again.
That could be the problem.
It's firing it, but it's taking a long time.
That's
Probably
why
long
I
up
have a
above like
battery
your
off.
DNA30, and poor Foo's sitting there with electrical tape on his mod.
Exactly. what I was
Yeah,
just laughing
so
Let's try this again. It's
Fast, I'll
not.
tell you what. When you finish this, throw that DNA 20 in it and send it to Foo.
Yeah, I actually just checked before an actual DNA DNA 30 board did say check battery when I did this.
They do
So
say check battery.
yeah. Wow, this is very interesting.
We may have the fire issue right here.
All right, let me. The screen's a little warm, but let me get something to put on this cotton so it doesn't burn the coils. Let's put a bit of water on it. All right, let's
just
try
put
that
like
again.
salt water, speed up the conductivity.
It's firing at 4.4 volts. I mean, you can see it.
Yep.
Let me check battery. Battery does not seem warm. The board is getting warm. The screen is definitely a little bit warmer. All right, I'm gonna hold this sucker down, guys. See what happens.
Show us fire, goddammit.
I mean, that battery does not show anything on it.
And the DNA is just
It's-
like pulls off.
It's
when
still
there's not-
firing.
The DNAs will just say check battery.
Mine didn't the other day. I was using it and it just sort of
Oh,
reset
it'll shut itself off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still firing. See, that should say check battery, man, because
We're turning itself off, man. I think if anything, we're at a point now where even if this thing doesn't catch, be careful with your batteries in this thing because you could over discharge your batteries.
Lou said his says check battery when it gets low.
Interesting.
okay, the board is getting warmer. I don't have a temp gauge, but let me re-wet this coil here.
Is your dog laser still dead?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna fire. That in itself is not good.
No.
Do you want to try?
Let's check. I want to check the voltage on the battery real quick. 1 second. See what we brought it down to. And actually, I'll do a under load too. We're down to 3.29. Let's see what the battery does under load. is going to be interesting. All right, hang on. I'm going to have to hold this with my mouth.
Hey, does the Plumes have dental? Are we covering dental?
I
work?
hope so. Actually, I might be able to do it this way. That's all right. All right, let's see. Okay, it's bringing it down to 2.7.
That's low.
Yep. So it's still firing. So let's just hold this bitch down, see what it does.
You want to short it with the battery low and see?
Yeah, let's do that now. That it's not
If it's warming, we could probably make this thing catch eventually, or the battery would fry first.
Yeah.
One of those two things will happen eventually.
Tiny Pew Pew says that her battery says, or hers say check battery when it's low. That should have shut off by now.
It says shorted.
Well, fuck it. Pop it in backwards.
All right. Well, let me just do one last hold it down for a good minute and see.
All right.
Because I thought these had a like a 20-second or something limit, you know.
You just hit 35. Let's see if we can get it to 36 with that thing still on.
All right, hang on. Let's make sure I got enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. Let me know it's July 4th.
All right, there we go. I know somebody's keeping track of the time.
I'll tell you one. Yeah, there's definitely not much power going on that thing, huh?
Side note, man, you got way too much cotton in there.
Let's start criticizing your build.
Build, man.
It's still firing.
So no cutoff. Is it getting hot?
Yeah.
How hot? Fairly?
Yeah, I mean, it's not super hot.
Booting in Jay says it usually has a 10-second cutoff.
Oh, there's the check battery.
Oh.
Look at there.
That comes on pretty late, huh?
And it's not resetting. It just says check battery. But it'll still allow you to fire.
Fire.
Oh, wow. No, that's funny.
It'll still fire pretty consistently from the looks of it.
Yeah, it's still firing.
So be careful with that one.
Looks
All right.
Yeah, let's short it and pop a battery in backwards, see what happens.
All right. We'll use a new battery for it, so we get a good. All right, here we go.
So all we got was a little heat, no fire.
All right, let me see. I think it'll be better if you guys see it this way. There's your positive. There's your negative. Here we go. Oh, there's smoke.
No.
You see it?
The magic smoke come out.
Yeah, there's smoke coming out of it right now. Ooh, it stinks too. Yeah, we gotta. Let's put it in the other way and see.
World Star.
Yep, she's dead.
It couldn't work. It let the magic smoke out.
Let's go put the battery in backwards again.
See if we can get smoke again.
Yep. Nope.
Nope, it had its run, it's done.
That's it.
Just throw some gasoline on it and throw a match on it.
And that's how they're supposed to fail, you know, when you do that. It is warm down at the bottom by the screen, but you know, I don't see any. You know, if we take the some of this glue out. I don't see any. Ooh, that's hot down there.
Couple more minutes on that battery and it might have caught then, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. But I mean, that's got to be constant.
Oh yeah.
You know. And here, we'll pop it out. And show you where these actually burn up at, which is on the other side.
Bottom line, Goss, do you have any gas sitting around your garage?
Who?
These people are calling for fire.
Sure.
Ceremonial burning.
All right. So there it is. You know. Let's.
I believe it's quite obvious that something is fucked up.
Yeah, there's something wrong. Hang on one second. I'm gonna put this down.
Yeah, we got a lot of people saying that was anticlimactic.
It was. I was expecting something more entertaining.
We need flame.
People wanted to be so angry on Reddit tomorrow.
Alright. So, for the last bit, we'll remove this, make sure everything's cleared out of the way. And,
you know what we didn't do is we didn't test it with a shitty battery. It looked like it had a good Sony in there.
Yeah, you totally should have put a
here,
trust
let's dim the lights a little. And this ain't gonna be good. So, yeah. Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
There you go.
There we go.
Some fire for you, people. Oh, goddamn.
Unleash the blue flames on them, Guru.
Flute, flute.
Oh man, that stinks. Sean, I don't know if this thing's gonna be good to put another one in, but
Well, if you can put a 20 in it, just send it to Foob afterward.
Wow, I get a high horse's sloppy seconds.
It's all about that clone life, man.
there you go.
No, it's called All About That Broke Life.
Yeah,
There you go, everybody. There's fire.
there's your fire. I mean, I'd hit it with a hammer, but let's pull the board out real quick. Ooh, she toasty. To show you, actually, hey, that helped in board removal.
It melted some of that, all that hot glue.
Let's see, let's remove some of this. These wires here. Should brought my other cutters out here.
Blow it out and whisper to DNA 30. Goss got jokes tonight.
Okay, so
Always says jokes if he's in here.
here's usually what fails down here at the bottom. These IC chips or the capacitors down here. You can see there's a little bit of heat on that. So, but there you go. There's your. Here we can now do this. We can just fill this guy up with some go-go juice.
And while that's ceremoniously on fire, remember,
Whoa!
anybody who's watching, contest, new YouTube banner for us, Plumes of
Oh
Hazard,
man!
theme, Beards of Hazard. We're going to pick winners next week, put it on our Facebook, on our subreddit, send us an email, theplumesofhazard@gmail.com. I don't really give a shit, but it is to win #1 of DZ Nuts' new run of SX350 mods.
That's a DNA, bro.
Huh?
That's a DNA you showed, bro.
Well, it's going to look just like this with a fucking square screen.
Could have said that then.
We're getting cranky. It's been an hour 43.
Cranky. It's a standard operating procedure, man.
I'm sitting here watching fire, man. I'm good.
All right.
I think that's about all I got.
Burning a fly.
Open flame.
It is. Thanks for coming on, Chuff. Appreciate
Yeah, like
it,
a
man.
well done.
Yo, it's peeing.
See you guys later, everybody. It is peeing everywhere. God damn.
No
it.
crucifixions.
Yeah, there were no crucifixions to be had tonight with this.
I got one. Congregate sucks.
Congregate does suck, but it was a good night, man. We blew a battery across the room. We lit some shit on fire. The shit we lit on fire is peeing.
Why does Congravape suck?
Well, they stole about $45 worth of my money, and
The Nautilus clones? Yeah, me too.
Those motherfuckers.
mm-hmm. Sent all my shit back weeks and weeks ago. They still haven't shit. They haven't refunded.
Motherfucking Jones.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Good night. Kumbaya. Happy birthday to you.